The Patriots and Bill Belichick have to be very happy about what happened last night because it has pushed from the top of the stack the fire that is raging in Foxborough with the Patriots organization. When the power rankings for this week debut later today, the Patriots are back at number 32. They are the worst of the worst right now. So Mac Jones, who was benched late for a final drive that included a fake spike that Bailey Zappi probably never even practiced. Bill Belichick was asked today if Mac Jones is still the team's starting quarterback. Said Belichick, we have a lot of things to work on this week as a team. We'll work through those. That is what we're going to do this week. And the best news for Belichick, we're into Tuesday of bye week. If he was going to be fired, I think he'd already be gone. Barring some sort of a knockdown, drag out with Robert Kraft that might happen at one Patriot place today, who knows? As someone who likes a good story, hey, I would not complain if there's some sort of a blow up and Belichick storms out or is asked to leave, and it's just basically Stephon Diggs all over again. But he's there, and he'll be there for the rest of the season. They put the word out Sunday, Miles, and you know, when a sports league owns a media outlet, and the Patriots are very influential in the overall media operation, they have a platform to get the word out. And the word is, we're holding on to Bill Belichick until the end of the season. If you want him next year, you got to make a deal with us. And as a practical matter, even though it turns the rules on its head and it defies the objectives for a fair and open and diverse search, what's going to happen behind the scenes, anyone that is thinking about trying to hire Belichick next year is going to contact the Patriots before we get to the end of the season and try to work something out. They'll initiate the formal process later after they've done their full search. But that's the message. If it's the Commanders, if it's the Buccaneers, whoever is thinking, we want Bill Belichick next year, you got to go through the Patriots. You're going to have to compensate them. And he's going to be there, I believe, firmly through the end of the year.
I think he should be there through the end of the year. I love greatness, Mike. Like, it's one of the things that drew me to wanting to be a part of sports media. I love watching greatness. When the Patriots were trying to go undefeated in 2007, I don't know. That's actually a great question. It's you specifically, not the rest of the NBC team. And I want to make that clear. That really, you opened that door. I just kicked it down. The thing that kind of bothers me about this is it's like, man, when greatness leaves, it just goes. And it's tough to watch this, but at the same time, it's like, and this is just the way it is now. What really has Bill Belichick done as a personnel man and also as the head coach since 2018 when they won the worst Super Bowl of all time, for Tom Brady, right? 2019, we know now that Tom Brady was basically keeping that team afloat with, glue sticks and duct tape and made them willed them somehow into the wild card round where it didn't look good against the Tennessee Titans, right? Because then he goes to Tampa Bay and immediately wins the Super Bowl. So Brady still had it, but that 2019 team was not good. 2020 team, Cam Newton and whatever was going on there, like that, and that was COVID year, and I understand that was weird too, but that wasn't very good. You go to 2021 and Mac Jones looks like there may be something there, but replacing Josh McDaniels with the Frankenstein monster of Joe Judge and Matt Patricia. What the hell was that? And now it's gone so far off the rails. It's like the whole grunty stuff and opening the press conference with moving the mic down and, this non-answer about Mac Jones. I understand, the players aren't necessarily in the building on the bye week. And you don't want to necessarily make that quarterback announcement right now. I get it, but there's too many things right now, Mike, where I look at the team as a whole, as Patriots as a whole, and there's little stuff like not having a punt returner back there in the middle of the game, and you're instead trying to block a punt. What are you doing? Nobody would ever expect to see a Bill Belichick team do that. So if we're going to go to the end of the season and play this out, and there's no way that Bill Belichick should be back next year at this point. I don't think I'm talking out of turn there. But if you're another organization, what exactly has Bill Belichick done in the last few years that makes you say, this is the person that I want piloting my franchise for the next however many years? Real talk. Even as a fan, I don't know if I would want that. this is just, it's not a good situation. And that's why it's like, for me, where it's like, this is one of the most accomplished people we've ever seen in football. But going forward, it's kind of like, has this run its course? I feel like it has.
I'm not a big fan of this idea that Bill Belichick is owed some sort of deference and reverence because of what he's done, because he would never, ever give that deference and reverence to a player who has lost his highest level of skill to the point where we need to make a change. It's interchangeable parts all the time with the players. The standard that he would apply to any player is being applied to him. It is perfectly fair. And what he did is great. And he's going to go into the Hall of Fame the first time he's up for enshrinement. And he's had a great career. But under the standard that he would apply to a player, if we apply that standard to him as a coach, it's over in New England. Now, here's where it gets interesting, Myles. You assume that reasonable people are running these other teams who would articulate their options and assess Bill Belichick the way you just did. Let's not assume that to be the case. Dysfunctional teams are out there. Bad ownership groups are out there. There are ownership groups out there that don't care about winning. We're going to lose anyway. Let's have a name that gets people to show up. Let's get games in prime time. Even if it's this morbid curiosity of, can Bill Belichick turn it around? You put Bill Belichick on the Patriots, or the Buccaneers, excuse me. We did that with Tom Brady. God, I hope we don't have to do that again with Bill Belichick, where we have to remember Patriots versus Buccaneers. But I'm telling you, JoeBucksFan.com, Ira Kaufman has been covering the Bucs forever. He's a firm believer the Buccaneers are going to be in play for Belichick. Stadium was half empty on Sunday between the Bucs and the Titans. They've lost all their sizzle with Brady gone. Sizzle returns to a certain extent if they can get Belichick. They've always chased big names. They asked Belichick for his recommendation when they hired Greg Schiano. That should disqualify Belichick, frankly. But again, we're talking about dysfunctional teams. So somebody out there is going to want him. And the fact that they haven't fired him, I think they already know there's going to be somebody who wants him. I don't know that. But at this point, I'm a firm believer. If you know what you're going to do at the end of the season, do it now. Give Gerard Mayo 7 games. See what he can do. What's the harm if you're going to get rid of Belichick after the season anyway? They're holding on to him because they think they're going to get something for him, and then they're going to move on after the season, and somebody out there is going to give him that shot. And with a quarterback, if the Chargers would hire him, who knows? Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.